What's going on, guys? This is Resurrected Mods. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. As you can see here, I'm attaching my video to the screen recording, so hopefully this goes well. I've never done this before, nor have I tried, so yeah, let's hope for the best. Today I'm bringing you guys another clan boss team, and the reason I keep looking over to my right is that's where my screen is, so sorry I'm not going to be looking at the camera the whole time. But today I'm going to be doing a Hellcat slow tuned with Brogni instead of Doompriest to stay affinity friendly. So let's jump right into it, and we will go with our unkillable champ, which is going to be Helicath. Um, the speeds are the same as the other video that I made, and I believe that's anywhere from 245, 246 to 248. And of course, all the speeds will be listed down below in the description, the speed ranges that is. And again, always double check, triple check in the Deadwood Jedi clan boss calculator to make sure that your team is going to run as intended. But yeah, I got 247 speed with 4200 defense, 100% crit rate with a reasonable amount of crit damage, and enough accuracy to land weaken. He does need his block damage fully booked on a 4-turn cooldown. The shield does not matter. It can be on a 3 or 4-turn. 4-turn on clan boss is a little bit better because you can force the shield to go right before the stun, but it really doesn't matter. You can make it work just like this, just as I have. But yeah, he needs his 4-turn cooldown. And the other man of the hour is going to be Brogni, who's bringing block debuffed. That's important for spirit and the stuns. Uh, you can bring another three uh, 3-turn cooldown, 2-turn duration block debuff champ. Um, Brogni is the best because he increases your shield. Uh, but you can also do it without Brogni. You can do it with Doompriest like I did in my other video. But let's look at his speeds here. We got 174 speed. His speed needs to be between 173 and 175. Um, I got a decent amount of HP and defense on him. And I would like to get more attack, but this works. And I would like to get more crit damage, but again, this works. That resist doesn't matter. It's just what the build ended up with. Um, but he needs, let's go to his skills. He needs his block debuffed on a 3-turn cooldown. And he needs a shield on a 3-turn cooldown as well, to increase the shield, that is. And you'll see why here in the video. But that's his speeds, that's what he's built. He's nothing crazy. I would like to build a lot more damage out of him. But again, when you're building with what you got, that's what I got. Let's go to Vizier, which is one of our 3 DPS. That's another reason why I love building this team, is because as long as you have Doompriest or Brogni and Helicath, you can build a 2-team unkillable per se, and then the rest of the 3 people are just DPS slots. So I got Vizier running in at the 186 to 188 speed range. And basically, he just needs attack, crit damage, and accuracy to extend the debuff. He is not needed. He's just a DPS slot. I'd like a little bit more defense out of him. I could definitely get that out of his glyphs and whatnot, but as you can see here, I ran low on silver, so I didn't want to mess with that any further. But yeah, if you put a little bit more defense on him, you'll be good. But yeah, you just build damage and accuracy to extend those debuffs. My next person is going to be the clan boss god himself, is Dracomorph. I don't know that I necessarily need to tell you what he does, but he's crazy good. What you want to do with him is put a decent amount of defense on him, such as I did right there, and put as much attack and crit damage on him as possible, and you only need about 220 accuracy. So I went way overboard, but that's just what I ended up with, so it doesn't matter. In this DPS bot, there's actually two of them that run 175 to 178 speed range, and this is what Dracomorph is in. Um, I've got him at 177, and his skills are basically just poison, decreased defense, and weaken, and he hits really hard with his A1. And then my last person is Farrakhan the Fat. Um, he brings HP burn and poison, and ally attack, and decreased defense. I forgot about that, and decreased defense. But we're bringing him in at the 175 to 178 speed range, and again, just put a decent amount of defense on him, and then pump that attack and crit damage up. And as long as you got more than 220 accuracy, you'll be good to go. And that's how I have them built. And let's go ahead and go into the clan boss setup so I can show you guys how it's set up. As you can see here, where's the team at? On Astro Creep, this is the guy that I am building his clan boss team, or I already had built it. On my first run, I did 57.8 million. That's a pretty good run for this team. So it's right there, and on Nightmare, let me show it. And on Nightmare, just to show you that it does work on Nightmare as well. This team only works on Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare. It does not work on Brutal. So if you're going to build this team, keep that in mind. Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare only. But let's go into Ultra Nightmare and show you the setup. So Ultra Nightmare, Helicath is left alone. Dracomorph, if you're not going to run Vizier to extend debuffs, I would not take off that A3. I would actually leave that on. But since we're going to have Vizier and Farrakhan the Fat doing decreased defense and Helicath doing weaken, you really don't need that. So you want him to do as much damage as possible, so you just take that off. Under Priest Wagner, you just leave him alone. And then Farrakhan the Fat, you just leave him alone. And Vizier, again, you don't have to use him. You don't have to use Farrakhan the Fat or Dracomorph. You don't have to use any of those three DPS. You can use 3 Frozen Banshees if you want. But this is just a team that I chose that was best for his account. But for Vizier, excuse me, I got tongue-tied there. For Vizier, we're going to turn off his A2 and his A3, so he keeps using his A1 to extend the debuff on the clan boss. That is the Ultra Nightmare setup. Now let's go to Nightmare setup. You're going to start off with Helicath's shield move, which is his A2, and then the rest is auto. Same thing with Dracomorph. We're going to turn off his A3. Brogny, we're going to start off with his A1, and then he's going to go into his A3, and then he's going to use his A2. That's all you need to do for him. Farrakhan the Fat, he left alone, and then Vizier, I turned off his A2 and his A3. So we're going to do an Ultra Nightmare run just because he needs another key on it, and to show you guys how it works. Started on auto because it is auto from the start. And I'm going to put it in 1x speed so you can see kind of how it starts off. So he's going to go, and then he's going to get hit. And then everybody's going to get their turn. I'm going to put it in 2x actually. That's going really slow. I forgot how slow that was. But yeah, this is how the team works. And then Brogny's going to throw his block debuffs up. And then the clan boss is going to go. You're going to block the debuffs. And then the stun's going to come around. And the stun's actually going to hit Dracomorph. Which we don't matter on this team. It literally doesn't matter. Stun goes to Dracomorph. Does nothing. and then there's the run. So I will come back to you guys at around, I don't know, turn 37, 38 maybe. And once the climb-back starts hitting harder on the stuns, we can see how well the stuns are holding up. And as you've seen, Dracomorph doesn't have a crazy amount of defense, so we're really relying on Brogni to increase the shield, which is why I said you would actually like to up his damage some. But nonetheless, this is how it goes. So yeah, I will see you guys back at turn 37. Alright guys, we're back. I don't know if you saw the last stun hit, but he did bleed through the shield, and that was because Brogni didn't do enough damage to increase the shield enough. So he was able to bleed through the shield, but that turn he was able to crit and do enough damage to increase the shield. We're already at the 2 key range, so anything now is just surplus. Um, as we continue to watch, you'll see that we at no point become in any danger. Um, and that's how this team works. You got block damage for the 2 AoE hits, and then you have a shield to tank the stun. Um, if you didn't have Brogni increasing the shield, you would want Helicath running quite a bit more defense. I don't know how much more defense. That's one of the reasons I am hoping to grow my channel to 1,000 subscribers, because then I can apply for the raid test server. And what I want to do at that point is start finding the bare minimums for teams. For example, this team, I would like to know where the threshold is for Helicath minimum defense, as well as the other teams, as well as the other players' defense. That way you can have a baseline. You can know, okay, Helicath needs, let's just say, 3,700 defense, and as long as the rest of your team has 2,500 more defense, you'll last the full 50 turns. Um, I can't do that right now because I'm having to spend my own resources, such as silver, books, and whatnot, to be able to do that. But if I was on the test server, I would be able to find out the bare minimums on the teams that were you guys, um, that don't have a crazy amount of gear. You can know, okay, as long as I hit this threshold, I'm going to last the full 50 turns, and then you can build from there. Um, I know that would help a lot, and that's just something that I would like to do and know as well. So if this video helps you, please like and subscribe. That will help me get to my goal and be able to become a raid test server person. Um, the run is almost over here. We're going to take one more stun, and like I said, as you'll see, at no point do we become in any danger and dying. I think this is the last stun, either this one or the next one. Yep, this one. See, he lost maybe a quarter of his HP, and then because of Brogni's passive, he heals him as well, so he brought back to full health. Um, and that's just how this goes. And here we're gonna die on the next hit, and you'll be able to see the final damage. We did a lot less damage in the last run. That's probably just because RNG. But as you can tell, we're still 10 million above the 2 key damage threshold, so we're perfectly fine. And I did forget to show you guys the masteries, so I'm going to go ahead and do that before I forget. Let's go in here. Champions, and we'll start with Brogni. Masteries, I went with Giant Slayer because his passive does proc Giant Slayer, so he does a lot more damage there. If you go down support tree, which there's really no reason to, but if you do, don't come in here and pick up Cycle of Magic. You don't want him using his skills at a turn. So if you follow this, that will be a perfectly good guideline. Helicath, let's go on Helicath. Same with Helicath. If you do go down support tree, for Helicath, it makes more sense if you need the accuracy, but don't get Cycle of Magic. You don't want him doing his block damage or his shield out of turn. That will mess up your run. I went with War Master on him. Let's see here, Dracomorph. I just went down the normal clan boss build. Let's see, Ferric the Fat. I went down the traditional clan boss build. For Ferric the Fat, you do want him to use Cycle of Magic because you want him to use that ally attack as much as possible to increase your damage. And last person is Vizier. I went with Giant Slayer because his A1 is a 3-hitter, so he's going to proc more often than not, and that will up your damage, and that's the rest. Guys, I'm back. I'm sorry. I thought I had my phone on Do Not Disturb. I was interrupted with a phone call. But as I was saying, that's the rest of his masteries. You don't need to go down the support tree for the extra accuracy or whatnot. But if you need to, go for it. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope this helps you build your clan boss team if you were looking to build this team. And I hope it gets you to 2 key or possibly even 1 key Ultra Nightmare. And if this video does help you, please like and subscribe and help me get to my 1,000 subscribers goal. Like I said, once I get there, I will be doing a lot more informational videos on thresholds, such as the minimums of clan boss teams and just other teams in general. But yeah, have a great day, guys, and I will see you on the next one.